Many of you who follow us may know about Vision 2020. It's going to come to a wrap in a year. This is our commitment to all of these different buckets of environmental and social attributes. On the environmental side, it's largely around our product. On the social side, it's both around the people in our supply chain as well as on our own company practices. The whole point here is, how do we get our customer to care about this? Yes, we care about these things as a company. Does our customer come to us asking for sustainable clothes? Not usually. But this is a picture from our website inviting our customer into this conversation. We hope that as she's scrolling along and she sees this little tidbit of information about organic cotton, she might click on it and learn a little bit more. Why does it matter? Why does organic cotton in our supply chain matter to her? So again, this is an effort to bring our customer into this world of circular, to understand her role in, let's just not just think about making a single purchase, but think about the full life of that item. What are you doing to bring customers into your own sustainability stories? How can you do it in a way that is meaningful to your brand, that's on brand, and also recognizes the full individual in that conversation? Thank you. I really appreciate it. So one thing I'd like to do is start with a little context. And here's Eileen. Nope, there we go. For those people who are familiar with our brand, just shout out some words that you associate with Eileen Fisher. I'd love to know what's on your mind. Sustainable. Mature. Sophisticated. Oh. Natural. Hold on. Out there anymore in the back? Clean. What was the first one? Thoughtful. Expensive. Classic. Into wellness, comfortable. Wow, these are fantastic words. Thank you so much. What? Okay. Well, I love all these words. I'd say they're all true, probably to some extent. And I just want to set a little context. I just said that to get you going around who we are as a brand. So we are this year 35 years old, and we're just under $500 million company. We have about 1,200 employees, 68 stores, most of which are in the States. We have a few in the London area and a few across Canada. Some things you may not know about our brand. One, we are 40% employee owned. We've been partially employee owned since 2005, so this is how it is for us. And Eileen owns the rest of the company. We are also a certified B Corporation, which for those who are familiar with the B Corporation movement, doesn't show up so much on our website. It's a little bit there, but we joined this movement about 4 years ago to really support this growing number of companies who take seriously not just their own financial success, but also their impact on the environment and on the people in their purview. We're also a legal benefit corporation here in New York State, which is the legal side of the certification. So here we go. Here's our purpose statement. We grow clothes, we grow people, we grow business for good. This is a manifestation of our B Corporation mentality and our how we see ourselves in the world. And we also think of ourselves as a quadruple bottom line company. That means we don't just look at the financial bottom line, but we look at our impact, as I just said, on the environment, and on two social bottom lines, on the well-being of the people in our supply chain, as well as the well-being of the people in the company. So how do we do that? Many of you who follow us may know about Vision 2020. It's going to come to a wrap in a year. This is our commitment to all of these different buckets of environmental and social attributes. On the environmental side, it's largely around our product. On the social side, it's both around the people in our supply chain as well as on our own company practices. How do our practices affect the performance of our supply chain? How do we enable or prevent our suppliers from doing the right thing? So we have a multi-year commitment to retrenching our internal practices so that we are creating more time for our suppliers and alleviating stress on them so that they can do the right thing. So I mention all of this because of the reality of the apparel industry. There have been a lot of statistics in the news about how much waste we generate as an apparel industry. And we take this very seriously as a company. But it's not just physical waste like this, it's also impact on water, it's impact on the quality of the land and the quality of the water, and eventually on the people who create our products and wear our products. We today as Americans purchase twice as much clothing today as we did 15 years ago. And we only keep it half as long. So we are becoming, and we have become, a nation of disposable clothing. I also just read a statistic in Women's Wear Daily that said 40% of the clothing we purchase, we never remove the tags from. I mean, it's crazy. And I have 2 teenage girls, and I always worry about the future we're leaving them. So how do we get, the whole point here is, how do we get our customer to care about this? Yes, we care about these things as a company. Does our customer come to us asking for sustainable clothes? Not usually. But this is a picture from our website, the homepage of our website, inviting our customer into this conversation. We hope that as she's scrolling along and she sees this little tidbit of information about organic cotton, she might click on it and learn a little bit more. Why does it matter? Why does organic cotton in our supply chain matter to her? If we're very good at what we do, she might even land on our Behind the Label page and click further and find out about our Responsible Wool program and why it matters how the sheep were raised, how the land was managed that sheep grazed on, and how the wool was processed before it turned into the sweater she's buying. She may also find out about why Tencel is better than viscose and why it's really, really hard for us to make the transition from viscose, which is a large percentage, has been a large percentage of our volume, to Tencel, which is now a growing but still smaller percentage than viscose. So we try to be authentic in our messaging. We try to tell the truth. We try to tell things as they are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We are also a great resource, by the way, for students who increasingly come to our website to do research, because we try to put so much depth into the information we share. So that's the website. Then we have our stores. So of course we have 68 stores. Oftentimes our customers will start with our website, sort of play around in there, and then they'll come into the store to try things on and see how things look and feel. Our fabrics are very important to our customers. This is a shot of our Fifth Avenue store, very close to this location right now, from a few years ago when we invited our customers in, not just to make a purchase, because it's not always about the transaction, but to engage in a new important initiative that we were undertaking. So 10 years ago, we started taking back our own clothing from our customers. At that time, we called it Green Eileen. We today call it Renew. So we invited our customers to start bringing their clothes, their old, previously worn Eileen Fisher clothes, back to us. We offer a very small incentive. It's $5 per item, no matter what condition the piece is in, and no matter how expensive it was originally. To date, 10 years in, we've collected over 1 million units, and we have 2 places where we recycle or we sort and inventory all that clothing. One here in the New York area, in Irvington, New York, where our headquarters is, just 45 minutes north of the city, and one in the Seattle area, Columbia City section of Seattle. 50% of the clothing we take back is actually still in perfect condition or close to perfect and can be resold. So we clean it and we resell it in standalone stores. Also on another part of our website, which is our Renew website. The other 50%, we don't throw anything away, so we hold on to it. We have vast shelves full of bags of clothing that is waiting for something to happen to it. So we have been developing some processes. We might repair it. We might break it down, cut it up into smaller pieces, and create a capsule collection of resewn merchandise. Or we might turn it into something really beautiful, even more beautiful, I should say, because it's all beautiful. This is a new initiative that we call design work. And this is where we take the really awful clothing that we've taken back that could have moth holes, it could be stained, it could be shrunk. All kinds of things could be wrong with it. And we hold on to it, we cut it up into little pieces, any fabric, and we piece it together like this into a beautiful mosaic. And we turn it into upholstery weight fabric. Now, that in itself, we could stop there and just sell fabric or make stuff, maybe, floor coverings or cushions or something. But what we discovered is we have a tremendous artistic value inherent in this fabric. So now we're making beautiful pillows. This pillow was probably made from 10 to 20 different garments, all on pieces of little things. Now, those pieces could have come from the old garments. They could have come from factory floor where when we were cutting them up, could have been a seam that was cut off or a little section. So it's all been repurposed into this new product, which we've been carrying or we've been selling at ABC Home and Carpet, also not too far from here, as well as in a couple of our stores. And this is another representation of the design work product. This is the entrance to an exhibit that was in Milan this past fall called the Salone del Mobile, and it received quite a lot of press attention because of the beauty. We were able to turn the old kind of waste no more fabric into some beautiful elements. Got a lot of press, W Magazine, Interior Design Magazine, and many others. And we've had other exhibits here in New York and elsewhere in Europe. So we're just continue to play with the possibilities. This is a photo right here. You can see on the left a coat. So, it spans from home furnishings to clothing, the possibilities here. And it's all very much in pilot form. This takes a long time for the designers to make this fabric. They push it through this felting machine. It's a needle felting machine. So right now the price point is quite high, and we're trying to figure out if we can bring it to scale to make it a little more accessible for people. So getting back to our stores, it all comes full circle. This is a shot of our newest store in Brooklyn. Scott mentioned it when he introduced me. I want to point out in the innovation guide that you received on page 52, it says Making Space. We've brought it back into the Eileen Fisher family. The name of the store is Eileen Fisher, and it's in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn. It's easy to get to from here, actually, quick subway ride. And what's interesting about this store is it really tells the full story of what we're now calling our path to circular. So you walk in, there is current merchandise available. There's also some resewn merchandise, and there's also, not evident in this picture, but some felted design work merchandise and some storytelling throughout the store. So again, this is an effort to bring our customer into this world of circular, to understand her role in, let's just not just think about making a single purchase, but think about the full life of that item. What happens when I no longer want to wear it? What happens when my body type changes, my taste changes, I spill something on it, whatever? There is a future life for that garment, and not to give up on it. So that's how we're taking responsibility. Another interesting thing that we've done is we've engaged in partnerships with streetwear designers. So most recently, again, this past fall, was Public School. Here are shots of two guys on either side. We've got Maxwell and Dow, the two designers, and they took our taken back clothing and created some really beautiful pieces. This is just one of many, many different kinds of pieces they produce. So it combines the simplicity of Eileen Fisher with the modernity and the edginess of Public School. So we carried these pieces in our Brooklyn store. We also invited our customers in to meet the designers, to experience the pieces, and to see how they fit together. So it's another way to continue the story of this circular life of our clothing. In addition, we invite customers to think of themselves as whole individuals. We want to bring them in to have workshops with us. In this particular case, this is off our website, where we offered knitting and sewing classes at our store in Irvington just last week. We also we have a space. This is a front door shot of the new store in Brooklyn. Upcoming events at this location. They have a big space in the basement that features yoga, wellness programs, meditation. So things that help our customers really learn how to be full human beings. It's not just, again, about the transaction. And we have Women Together programming, which is personal transformation workshops that we offer in a huge public space in Irvington, 45 minutes north of the city. These are live workshops that are often live streamed that help women learn how to take care of themselves, how to feel better about themselves, how to own their power and own their voice. Very, very important to Eileen, who has been on a personal journey of her own all these years. And finally, just to bring it back to the customers, this is a shot of the Seattle Renew store. I think that it's really important to recognize that, we've done our own consumer research, and we know that about 40% of our own customers are willing to spend money and to support brands that align with their values. We also know from Women's Wear Daily again this past month that consumers in general, are ready and are waiting for brands that are sustainable. So the question that I leave you with is, what are you doing to bring customers into your own sustainability stories? How can you do it in a way that is meaningful to your brand, that's on brand, and also recognizes the full individual in that conversation? And that's it. That's me. Thank you.